Good afternoon and a warm welcome to all of you. 안녕하십니까? I'm Marcus Lira, Director of the Brasilia King Sejong Institute, and I'm honored as your Master of Ceremony. It is with great pleasure that we host the lecture entitled Korea's Soft Power from K-pop to K-Diplomacy, delivered by His Excellency Mr. Choi Yeonghan, Ambassador of the Republic of Korea to Brazil. This event is a joint initiative between the University of Brasília and the Brasilia King Sejong Institute. And we are delighted to see so many members of the academic community here. I kindly remind all guests to please confirm your attendance at the reception desk, where a cocktail will be served following the lecture. Also, those of you joining us via YouTube, we kindly invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates about the Brasilia King Sejong Institute. We would also like to acknowledge and thank the delegation from the Embassy of the Republic of Korea to Brazil, accompanying the ambassador today. Chancellor of the Embassy of the Republic of Korea in Brazil, Mr. Kim Ji-hoon. Thank you. Second Secretary of the Embassy of the Republic of Korea, Mr. Kim Jong-woo. It is with great pleasure to have all of you with us this afternoon. Please join me in a round of applause. We also thank all deans, directors, secretaries, department heads, professors, administrative staff, and students from our academic community. Muitíssimo obrigado pela presença de vocês. Before proceeding with the lecture, we kindly invite the International Affairs Secretary, Professor Gladstone Luiz da Silva, to greet our audience. Professor?
Hello, everybody. Welcome, Ambassador Choi Yeonghan, Mr. Kim Jin-hoon, and Mr. Kim Jong-woo. It's my pleasure and my honor to be here with you in the name of our President and our Vice Presidents, Professor Rosana Naves and Professor Márcio Muniz. We are very glad you are here, and I'm sure that this will be a great moment for our students and our professors that are here. I'm very happy to having these moments and the opportunity to improve our relationships. So you can count on me to improve the relationships between our university and your country and universities in your country. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary, for your greeting. We now have the honor of inviting His Excellency, Ambassador Choi Yeonghan, to proceed with the lecture entitled Korea's Soft Power from K-pop to K-Diplomacy. Following the lecture, there will be a brief question and answer session. If you wish to ask a question, please raise your hand after the lecture and wait for the microphone. Ambassador Choi Yeonghan, the floor is yours. Choi Yeonghan 대사님, 부탁드리겠습니다.
Okay. Okay. Boa tarde, muito prazer. Good afternoon, nice to meet you. 안녕하세요. Yeah, I'm as introduced. I'm Korean ambassador to Brazil, Choi Yeonghan. Well, in Korea we use family name first, and and then give a name later. So that's why, as you can see here, Choi first and my given name. And then, well, before I begin my time, I'd like to appreciate to the university, especially Professor Luis da Silva here, and my dear colleagues at the King Sejong Institute for organizing this precious time. And thank you for coming today at this place. Through this presentation, I'd like to share some insights with you under this theme of the Korea's soft power from K-pop to K-diplomacy. Okay, so this is the brief scheme of my presentation. First, we'll take a look at how Korea's diplomacy and soft power have evolved, and especially how it's resonating here in Brazil. The first theme would be, I'm sure many of you already know and love, the K-pop and its remarkable fan base in Brazil. From there, we will move on to K-dramas and film and literature, and how the Korean language is being taught in Brazil. Then we will look behind the scenes, what are the key factors that made the Korean wave Hallyu success. And we will also touch a little upon how the Korean government sees the cultural exchange as a powerful tool for the public diplomacy. And this leads us to a broader picture of Korea's soft power and how it connects with its diplomatic efforts in Brazil. The last part would be some thoughts about values that two countries is sharing and how these values shape our common goals for future partnership. So whether you're a fan of K-pop songs and K-dramas, or student of Korean language class, or some curious international relations majoring students, I hope today's presentation will offer something insightful for every one of you. All right, the first one is about K-pop in Brazil. Many of you may remember in 2019, the famous boy group of Korea, BTS, held a two-day concert in São Paulo, drawing over 80,000 fans. And you know what? The tickets were sold out in just 75 minutes. And what I was told about this is, through this big concert in São Paulo, BTS began to receive worldwide fandoms. So from that time, they are now, one of the world famous singers in the world. And since then, the energy hasn't faded. So girl groups like Twice, ATEEZ, and aespa visited Brazil and have also performed to the big enthusiastic Brazilian fans. And the K-pop enthusiasm has also sparked creativity across Brazil. So local dance crews began performing cover dances and uploading their videos to YouTube and social media platforms. Since since 2011, Brazil has consistently held the global K-pop cover dance festival. Well, actually this is locally organized by Brazilian people, so that's what I really appreciate for Brazilian young people. And hundreds of Brazilian teams audition each year, and reflecting just how deep and vibrant this cultural wave has become here in Brazil. And you know who this lady is, I guess, and who these boys are. Yeah. So it's a very good example of cross-cultural collaboration between Korea and Brazil. You know, in September 2023, this boy group, the Tomorrow by Together, teamed up with Brazil's famous singer Anita for the single Back for More. And this song was a musical fusion combining K-pop with Brazilian funk, and marked a first for a K-pop group to collaborate directly with a Brazilian star. And next is about dramas and films. You know, series like Our Unwritten Soul, Queen of Tears, Hellbound, Crash Landing on You, Extraordinary Attorney Woo, have found devoted viewers here in Brazil, and mainly through, I guess, Netflix, which this kind of Korean wave fandom possible. And this is very interesting one. It's a Korea-Brazil collaboration, actually, in the media production. This is a joint Korean-Brazilian TV series called Beyond the Wardrobe, Além do Guarda-roupa, which was released in 2023. This fantasy romance series stands as the first co-produced K-drama filmed in Brazil, showcasing fusion in narrative style, production teams, and audience reach. Oh, sorry. And beyond television, Korean cinema has also captivated Brazilian audiences. Films such as Parasite, Train to Busan, Minari have been screened across Brazil, and especially Parasite in particular made history in Brazil, attracting huge audiences after it won Oscar award. Well, inspired by this enthusiasm, my embassy is proud to present the Mostra de Cinema Coreano 2025 at Cine Brasilia from July 17 to 23. You can see this poster here, and well, actually you can access to this poster in my embassy's SNS, especially Instagram and Facebook. And here we put two QR codes here, and if you click this code, you can see some stories about these movies and how to register for these filmings. Actually, it is open to everybody, so we cordially invite all of you to attend and experience the diversity of Korean storytelling. And let's now look at another pillar of the Korean wave, literature. Last year, the Korean female writer Han Gang won the Nobel Prize in Literature. the first one in Korean history, actually. And then her awarding this Nobel Literature, bringing global attention to Korean novels. Her novels like The Vegetarian and Human Acts have resonated with readers worldwide and also here in Brazil. After this prize shone a spotlight on Korean narratives, several other books gained popularity. This one, The Second Chance Convenience Store, Loja Coreana, Das Segundas Oportunidades, and Almond, and more, all now translated into Portuguese and embraced by Brazilian readers. And parallel to this, to the rise of Korean culture, we've seen a surge in interest in the Korean language in Brazil, as people like you. So institutions like the King Sejong Institute here in Uembe, and universities like USP and PUC Campinas, and here Korean Education Center in Sao Paulo are offering Korean language classes now. And these programs reflect a growing recognition that language deepens cultural understanding. And as Korean songs, dramas, and books captivate audiences, many feel compelled to also learn the language behind them. And this educational engagement establishes long-term connections between two countries. It's not just about temporary popularity, but sustained interest and deeper exchange. So, what made this Hallyu successful? Well, I'd like to highlight three key factors behind this success: cultural, and industrial, and institutional. First, culturally, Korean pop culture offers universal stories and humanistic themes, and presented through the lens of Korean emotion, music, and aesthetics. These narratives transcend language and culture, allowing global audience to laugh, cry, and connect with Korean experiences. Second, industrially, the Korean wave thrives in an efficient and flexible industry. From production to promotion, Korean entertainment agencies operate under a total management system, coordinated, specialized, and quick to adapt to trends. And I'd like to add one more thing in these factors. Well, personally, I want to call it the success, the result of free trade. Well, in different way. Well, actually, up until the late 80s, in the theme of Korean pop culture, the Western cultures and Japanese cultures were overwhelming in Korea, in Korean society, especially among young people. But from that time, Koreans who were in the cultural industry studied and learned a lot from those who advanced in that field. So they began to make their own stories, their own songs, their own movies. And they succeeded in surviving in that fiercely competitive industry. So that, well, they are now one of those big entertainment companies in Korea, like JYP and YG and some other things. And then those movie directors were raised and were trained in those systems. That's, I think, why now we have this thriving Korean pop culture in the world. And lastly, institutionally, the governing bodies of Korea, such as the Ministry of Culture and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, have systematically supported this Hallyu, especially my ministry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, supports regional Hallyu growth through public diplomacy by tailoring promotional effort to local audiences and improving their access to Korean pop culture. And this slide shows how the public diplomacy of Korea works. Well, as you may know, public diplomacy refers to the diplomacy of culture, knowledge, and policies carried out through cooperation between governing bodies and local governments and the private sectors. And its aim is to enhance foreign nationals' understanding about Korea. Well, all those policies of the Korean government are based the law enacted in 2016, the Public Diplomacy Act. So this is how the Korean government is working under that theme, and that is the base of now at this moment how my embassy is operating to promote Korean cultures all around the world. And now, how effective has this policy been? Let me share some tangible results here. Here, it's a global soft power index by Brand Finance. In 2024, Korea here ranked 15th among 193 countries. And here, the Nation Brand Value Index put Korea as a 10th in the world. Well, this tells us that Korea's public diplomacy is now doing good, very good in the world. But at the same time, as you recognized, there are we don't see Brazil here in the top ranks. So this means these ranks may not be that trusting, because Brazil is one of the very powerful cultural country in the world. But anyway, we use this because well, at least Korea is on the list, so we can use it to promote Korea. So, and then, well, according to this nation Brand Finance, soft power is a country's ability to influence others through attraction and persuasion rather than coercion. So these rankings reflect Korea's growing influence built on attraction and persuasion, the very essence of soft power. So that is to say, Korea's ability to connect emotionally and culturally while maintaining institutional backing distinguishes it on the global stage. It's a strategic soft power model, one that we are eager to strengthen here in Brazil as well. So let us now explore how Korea's soft power and K-diplomacy unfold here in Brazil. Over the past 2 decades, Korea and Brazil have deepened their partnership. Well, actually, two countries established diplomatic ties in 1959. Actually, Brazil was the first Latin American countries that Korea made diplomatic ties. And in 2010, President Lula visited Korea. And 2015, the then President Park Geun-hye paid a state visit to Brazil. And here in the center, most recently, just 2 weeks ago, President Lula and Korea's newly elected President Lee met on the sidelines of the G7 summit in Canada, holding the first Korea-Brazil summit in 10 years after these two lady presidents had a meeting. What made this meeting particularly meaningful was the personal chemistry between the two leaders. Both presidents of two countries were born in poverty and worked hard from a very young age as a factory worker and overcame social adversity to eventually rise to the highest elected position in their countries. Their shared life stories of hardship, perseverance, and democratic triumph formed a strong emotional bond, as you can see, shaking, holding in their hands, that transcends geographical distance. During the summit, President Lula congratulated President Lee on his inauguration and formally invited him to COP30, which Brazil will host later this year in Belém. In turn, President Lee praised Brazil's growing leadership in the global south and emphasized Korea's commitment to expanding economic cooperation with Brazil, its largest trading and invest partner in South American continent. But beyond summit-level diplomacy, the two nations maintain regular high-level exchanges. We hold high-level political consultation here every 2 years. In the occasion of most recent consultation, two countries signed the Trade and Investment Promotion Framework, opening new channels for cooperation in green economy and industrial standards. These initiatives show that K-diplomacy is not just about cultural affinity. It is rooted in mutual respect, trust, and shared vision for inclusive global development. Okay, and let's now look at the economic dimension of bilateral relationship. As of 2024, Brazil is Korea's #1 trading partner in South America, and Korea ranks 4th among Brazil's trading partners in Asia. And our total trade volume had reached approximately $12.5 billion last year, reflecting strong economic ties between two countries. And okay, here, this is about investment flows from Korea to Brazil. Brazil is Korea's largest investment destination in Latin America, having invested approximately $1.2 billion last year, and Korea's accumulated investment stands at $13 billion up until now. Well, Korean companies started operating in Brazil as early as 1975, when POSCO Steel was established a Brazil headquarters. And other companies like Samsung, here this is Samsung factories in Manaus, and LG also in Manaus, and Hyundai Motors followed suit, and now there are more than 200 Korean companies operating and manufacturing in Brazil. And looking beyond traditional industries, Korea and Brazil are now exploring new frontiers, especially in aerospace technology. One of the most notable developments is the entry of a Korean private aerospace company called InnoSpace into Brazil's satellite launch sector. And InnoSpace is working very closely with Brazilian Space Agency and Air Force to conduct launch operations at the Alcantara Launch Center, known for its advantageous location near the equator. Actually, InnoSpace manufactures small-sized rocket which can carry also small-sized satellites into the space. And they did success the test launch last year, also in Alcantara, and they are doing the first commercial launch sometime the second half of this year. And when they launch this commercial rocket, they will carry Brazilian satellites into the space. So if this succeeds, then maybe we will see the new chapter of the industrial cooperation between two countries, because this is a very high-tech industry, and there will be a lot of potentials to be developed between two countries. Well, this kind of partnership is not only commercially valuable, it also demonstrates how Korea and Brazil are jointly investing in science and technology. So in doing so, we are reinforcing our long-term vision of being innovation-driven societies that contribute to peaceful space exploration. And now I'd like to touch upon some shared values between two countries. The reason K-Diplomacy finds such strong resonance in Brazil lies in the shared values that connect our two countries at a fundamental level. First, two countries are deeply committed to multilateralism and international norms. Korea ranks among the top contributors to the United Nations budget and remains actively engaged in its peacekeeping operation troops. Meanwhile, Brazil has been the first country to speak at the general debate of the United Nations since 1947 up until now, proving Brazil's multilateralist vocation. And second, two countries are advocating for international peace and security. Korea's modern history, marked by the Korean War and division of the peninsula, has cultivated a strong national appreciation for peace and democracy. And similarly, Brazil, while bordering with 10 different countries, has maintained a remarkable record of over 150 years without armed conflict with its neighbors, reinforcing its identity as a peaceful regional leader. And third, both nations are culturally influential in the global stage. Well, actually, from K-pop to samba, bossa nova, and football legends in both countries like Pele and Ronaldo, and Korean Son Heung-min. Both nations are celebrated for their ability to move hearts and inspire people through creativity and passion. And let's not forget storytelling. Korean dramas and Brazilian telenovelas each captivate millions of people in the world, showing how both cultures masterfully portray emotion, family, and resilience on screen. So these common values of cooperation, peace, and cultural vitality bind Korea and Brazil together. So guided by these shared values, K-Diplomacy in Brazil aims to achieve 3 strategic goals. 1, strengthening mutually beneficial cooperation in political and economic spheres, where this is a traditional way of doing the diplomacy. Beyond our space collaboration at Alcantara, we continue to deepen ties in defense procurement, such as Korea's acquisition of Embraer KC-390, the big heavy carrier aircraft. And Korean automakers like Hyundai are investing more than $1 billion in electric, hybrid, and hydrogen vehicles in Brazil. And Brazil's success in bioethanol production further complements our joint sustainability goals. And 2, enhancing Brazilian public interest and understanding in Korean culture and policies. We will continue to promote cultural events and educational exchanges and dialogue platforms, aiming to deepen the public's knowledge of Korea's modern story, democratic values, and policy priorities. And 3, expanding Korean language education across Brazil. We hope universities like UMB will soon establish regular Korean language programs. We also look forward to some of you joining us as GKS scholars. These GKS scholars are the Global Korea Scholarship Program, offers funds for degree programs in Korea to outstanding international students, building global talent networks. Actually, the embassy is considering to have some special information event promoting this GKS program, if possible, sometime in the second half of this year, under the cooperation with King Sejong Institute. So let's see. So by pursuing these goals, we aim to foster a robust, multidimensional partnership, one built not only on diplomacy and economics, but also on people-to-people connections and mutual understanding. Oops. So I guess this is the last slide that I prepared for today. And well, this is a very special experience even for me, speaking in front of you guys, the Brazilian students. And then as an ambassador, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very satisfied to have meeting all of you guys. And I hope, as I said in the beginning, this presentation will give you at least a little insight and a little more understanding about Korea, so that you can be friends of Korea, and you can be maybe someday the civil ambassador between two countries. So, and then, for those who wish to more connected with Korea, feel free to follow our embassy's official SNS platform, especially Instagram account. I'm not sure you can do this here, but this QR code connects you to the embassy's Instagram account. And so we usually promote our events, and we uploaded many information about what we are doing and what is happening in Korea. And so feel free to connect this platform anytime. And then I guess that is all from my side. And thank you for listening. And now I'm ready to receive some questions from your side. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado.
Thank you very much for. Hello? Thank you. Olá, acho que está desligado. Hello? Oh. Thank you very much for your lecture, Mr. Ambassador. Now we'll have the session of questions and answers from you guys. So, should anyone here want to ask a question, please raise your hand and the microphone. Yeah. So, the girl in white in the back. Just a moment.
안녕하십니까, 대사님. 만나서 반갑습니다. 저는 세종학당 학생이에요. I will make my question in English because although I study at King Sejong Institute, I think my question is a little bit more complicated than my Hangul allows. So,
but sua coreano está muito melhor que meu português.
So we're very honored to know about the efforts of South Korea and its soft power. So aiming Brazil, but I'd like to know the other way around. What are the efforts that you perceive that Brazil is doing in South Korea? Is there any institutes that promotes Brazilian culture there? Is any events, some efforts about the language teaching? There are. What about the Brazilian presence in South Korea?
To explain to your question, I think it's better to say something that we do in Brazil. For example, here in Brasilia, there is an embassy here. We are doing our work, and in São Paulo, where the biggest Korean communities in Latin America locates, we have Consulate General, and we have Cultural Center, Korean Cultural Center, and we have Korea Education Center. And also there are several government organizations and public corporations office in São Paulo. But in Korea, as far as I know, Brazil has only embassy. So this Brazilian embassy is doing basically every works that here in Brazil the various Korean agencies and institutions are doing. But in addition to that, you have many civil diplomats from Brazil in Korea. There are more than 30 football players, professional football players in Korean league. Well, they may not be that famous like the world star, but they're doing very well, and then because of them, many Korean people knows about Brazil, and then admire the Brazilian sports players. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much for your question, and it's always nice to see our students here. Now we have a question from someone in the auditorium, Salon de Arts. So I don't know how we can listen to them. So yeah, please ask a question.
안녕하세요. Are you listening?
We are listening.
Hello, my name is Anna, and thank you for your your lecture. It was very insightful. I was wondering if after everything that you said and how K-Diplomacy is right now, if there's something that the embassy views that it still needs to be worked on for the relationship between the two countries, and what are the near future projects from the embassy that is aiming to deepen our relationship, the relationship between the two countries.
So the question is about what the embassy will do to deepen the bilateral relationships between two countries. Is that correct?
Yeah, in the near future, what are the
near future
plans? Yeah, the plans you guys have, and things that you imagine that both countries aren't still very connected in this matter. But do you think that in little to no time, the countries can get closer by this matter?
Well, actually, as I presented, we are doing some traditional diplomacy, and we are also doing some the new type of diplomacy. So in traditional way, we are planning to have some bilateral exchanges between the government levels. So, for example, we are trying to have some high-level policy consultation meeting between two countries, and then maybe someday the two presidents could have bilateral meetings in some way or other. And also economically, there are lots of communication between two governments, and sometimes it's about our voice asking to solve some difficulties that Korean companies are having here in Brazil, and vice versa. So Brazilian companies who wants to export their products into Korean market, they approach to us or the Brazilian embassy in Seoul to make that wishes to happen. And then, and culturally, as I already invited you, we will have a Korean Film Festival this month, and there would be another festival themed about Korea, and this is actually not organized by the embassy, but the Brazilian people, Brazilian institution. In August, end of August, there will be K Festival, but we participated as a kind of sponsor, so that there among the whole programs, you can see something about Korea, and you will see some traditional performances from Korea. So that's how we will promote the Korean culture, utilizing that opportunity. And then maybe in the when the Brazilian government hosts the COP30 in Belém, there will be lots of delegation from the government and from the private sectors from Korea. So they will interact with Brazilian counterpart, also with some international delegations. So that would be one factor that enhance the themes, the contents, and the spheres of the bilateral exchanges between two countries.
All right. Thank you very much. I think we have time for 2 more questions. So please raise your hand, please. The gentleman here in a striped shirt. Where's the microphone? Wait. The microphone has disappeared. Can you ask your question from there? And I think.
Yes. Good afternoon, Choi. It's a pleasure to be here too. My name is Leonardo. Olá. Good afternoon, Choi. My name is Leonardo. I'm a professor in Samambaia. I lecture Portuguese. And my question is, how can the South Korean government that you are part of can help Brazilian education and with your culture, your kind of view the world, how can the government of South Korea help Brazilian education? Thank you.
Wow, that's a very broad and big question, actually. In Korea, when we did our economic development in the past, education was one of those main factors and main engines to make those developments possible. So, but I'm not saying that we did a very excellent educational system at that time, but the aspiration of people, of parents, for their children to be educated was way beyond your imagination. I want to say something about very past. When we had the Korean War, it was from 1950 until 1953. Most of the countries were totally devastated, destructed, and fallen down, actually. But even during those times, students went to school actually, but there were no physical schools because they have to move, they have to escape from the cities where they were living to the safer places. And then it was just tent schools. So under one tent, there were no blackboards, but there were students and teachers. So this shows how the people's will to be educated were strong in that time. And this aspiration and this will about being educated has been there for the past years. And so, and then now on the way to on the way that we achieved our economic development, the Korean government developed the better education system alongside with those developments. So now we have free education up until the high school, and then obligatory education up until middle school, and then government sponsoring the child care system, and then after school daycare, something like that. And then we do have many supplementary system to support the high school students to advance to the higher educational institutions. So I guess the Korean Education Center in Sao Paulo is doing some of those works which we can contribute to make the Brazilian education system a little better than before. So, well, even though it is not a big scale project, but we are now doing some of your questions, and then we are now answering Brazilian requests in developing the Brazilian educational system, even at now. Yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you for your reply, Mr. Ambassador. Gente, essa agora vai ser a ultimíssima pergunta, tudo bem? Porque eu imagino que vocês talvez estejam com fome e não sei se vocês sentiram já o cheiro que tem frango frito. Então, imaginei que vocês iam gostar. Então, all right, this is going to be the last question. Sorry, there was a queue, and you were the next one. So please, we already have the microphone. So yeah.
Good evening. My name is Joanna, and I currently study international affairs in UNB. So I would like you to comment more about the currently agreements, economical or political, between Brazil and Korea right now. That's my question.
Is it about the political and economic relations and how to promote that?
If we currently have some agreements, like signed agreement. That's my question.
Okay. Well, actually, since two countries established diplomatic ties more than 60 years ago, we do have some basic agreements, treaties between two countries, like the cultural exchange treaty and tax exemption, double taxation exemption treaty, and some customs related one. So those are the basic ones when countries made some diplomatic ties. And then, but the most recent negotiation between two countries is the FTA between Korea and Mercosur. Not with just Brazil, but it's with Mercosur. And this negotiation began in 2018, and still it's not finalized, and actually it is stalled, and because there has been some difference of opinions upon the agricultural products from Brazil to Korea. And so those differences were remained there, so they couldn't keep the negotiation going, so now it is stalled. But personally, I think in some day the negotiation will resume, and two countries will find some way to make the differences less than before, because in recent days we can see that Mercosur had the basic agreement with, for example, with European Union and with some other countries. Today I saw a news article that Mercosur with the EFTA, the Scandinavian countries, they reached an agreement on FTA. So I guess, it may take some time, but I'm sure we will see the Korea-Mercosur FTA in some day. Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you very much for your reply, Mr. Ambassador. And so I'd like to once again thank you for your presence here today. Thank you very much for your lecture. Ganyon 해주셔서 진심으로 감사드립니다. And I'd like to thank too the presence of the dignitaries from the Embassy of Korea. Thank you very much all for coming. I'd like to thank all secretary, students. Muitíssimo obrigado pela presença de todos vocês também aqui no dia de hoje. And just before we wrap it up, I'd like to take a picture, a commemorative picture with all of you, for posterity. And then once the picture is taken, it's fried chicken time. Junta aí, gente, só pra gente tirar uma foto comemorativa aqui. Você podia tirar a foto pra gente? Eu acho que é mais fácil todo mundo sentado, porque aparece ela aparece? Yeah, that's all right. First, no more than we do this. Yeah. Senão, antes de terminar, a gente fazendo coraçãozinho assim. A gente vai. Vamos lá. Então, hora da comida. Yeah, yeah, please. Pessoas, só para avisar, enquanto a gente serve o coquetel com frango frito lá atrás, a embaixada também vai distribuir alguns panfletos para vocês, tudo bem? Então,
Gente, é frango e tteokbokki e é um por pessoa, tá? Por favor, vamos...
compartilhem com os coleguinhas.
Isso, vocês podem ir misturando. Ah, me dá um pouquinho de tteokbokki, eu te dou um pouco de frango, tudo bem. Tem bebida também, tá? Então é isso. Obrigada por terem...